Hello guys, and welcome to week 26 of my devlogs for Finding Home, the zombie game I'm making. I'm going to try to hop in here right away. And again, this is just a brand new EXE I did. Oh, forgot I was going around there. I popped in for this week. So this week I mentioned I was going to do the weapons. I did not finish the weapons, so I cannot show them off. I will go into the weapons after to give you guys an idea of how much I got done on it and give you a look at the weapons that I put in for the melee weapons. Yeah, I was working on the melee weapons. What I'm doing right now is I always like to show something, at least, that I put into the map. So what I decided to toss in last second was the city I was mentioning before, that you'll be going to, I guess, after you conquer the science facility. I'm doing it backwards because the way you're going to be getting to the city is through like an underground tunnel, I guess. Like you're gonna go, that's what my plan was, but I guess the player could always, you never know, players are always gonna go against what you want to do. So I'm trying to reach a area that you could see the city on foot, the reverse way. As you can see, it has taken me quite a bit to get there because the map is going to be quite extensive. It's going to be quite big. There's going to be lots of stuff, lots of areas that I still got to fill out. Back when I was running down the road, might have been one of the times that it jittered a little bit and I didn't have 120 frames. I think that's pretty much because I'm just loading in the whole city at once right now. That's because I just wanted to demo it. But once the city's loaded in, as you can see, I'm running 120 frames. So, which means even if you have a crappy computer, it should be still running pretty decent for you. Oh my god. I'm gonna get there. Yeah, the city loaded it way back there, just because I just wanted to make sure it loaded pretty much. I just did a really big level stream volume, which I'll show you later, just so I can get it in for this demo. There's some of the city there. And again, in this area, obviously, there's going to be more trees and wildlife and stuff that you can attack and build stuff. And other than this big science facility down there, and the underground tunnels to the city, to where the subway is going to be, the city is the next like main key feature. The rest of this area, even though how huge it is, I kind of want to leave open for the player to build, and I might do more kind of areas if people ask for it. But yeah, the city's gonna to actually build up the city will take a long time. So, but as you can see, full city there. It's pretty massive, and again, this is all running at 120 frames, so nice and fast. See if I can get a. Yeah, it's probably gonna take me forever to actually get there on foot. It's just, it looks close, but it's just deceiving, man. Like, it's actually pretty far. I'm running on a sprint. So yeah, I got the big city in, and we'll go take the look at stuff in engine. So quit here. Engine. Right, so this is the actual city. I still gotta level out the landscape, make it nice. And I think I'm gonna put a river coming down this side, as well as a river coming down here and the two rivers are going to join here and go out this way, as well as the other river is going to split here and come down through the city and go this way, kind of around the town. I'm thinking about having like a little lake here. But this is the city, as you can see. Sitting at usually 120 frames a second. I think I have the frames actually up because I was testing things. Now, if I actually look at here, I'm still doing a lot of optimizations for the back end here. But if I look this way, you can see that I'm at higher frames again. 120 frames for the most part, 90, 100. That's for the beginning area because I've optimized this area. And I've obviously optimized my trees and stuff, but I have in the city, but I have still to optimize this area and get through it. So yeah, you can see that some of this area it drops. Again, this is the science facility and stuff. So, all right, but yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing. I just wanted to I just threw this in last second to show off what the kind of city would be like. Like I said, in the science facility, there's going to be some sort of underground kind of thing that's going to bring you under the mountain to the city, which is going to connect to the city subway system. And then when you pop up, you're going to be like, oh my god, this is the city, and there's zombies everywhere in the city too. For the city, right now, all these, again, like I said, I like everything to be explorable. I have all these set up so they could be, the interiors can be created for each tower. So they're all empty towers. So I could do like every building I could do interiors for. But that, like I said, so the city will take a long time to get 100% completed. But it doesn't stop. Like whenever I get to like September or something like that, if I have like an alpha, people could still play. You know what I mean? Even though the buildings aren't completely filled with a bunch of interior. And again, I have to fully match the ground to the buildings and get like a more natural slope to it. That's why some are risen, but I'll be working on that later. Right now, like I said, I wanted to work on the weapons for the most part. And like I said, this is where you can see a little bit of a jitter when you're coming down the road right now, because with this giant level streaming volume, it's actually just loading in the entire city at once, which I wouldn't be doing normally. Like, I would be loading in by section, but I just wanted to get it all in there so I had something to show in my new package when I package the game. So next week when I do the weapons, if I don't finish the weapons, hopefully I have some. I'll probably put some melee weapons in there to demo those off in the new packaging of the game. If not, I'll probably do something else, throw something else in there so you can be like, so I can show you. All right, let's go over what I did manage to get done for the weapons. Why it takes so long. So going over the icons, like I said before, I showed you guys last time how I made the icons. I have a bunch of different axes, pickaxes. Then I have a bunch of different types of knives. Then I have bats, frying pans, golf clubs, tonfa. Then I have hammers, building hammers, framing hammers, work hammers, sludge hammer. Then I have crowbars, lead pipe, hooks. So those are the images I got in there, and then actually in the Snellby player weapons, I got all the base blueprints down for all the axes again. So fire axe, fireman axe, fire safety axe, which is like a smaller than the regular fire axe, hatchets, pickaxes, survival, then blades. Again, like I said, I got the different types of knives, tons of different types of knives in there, scythes, shovels, put a ninja star in there for jokes, sickle, steak knife, tanto knife, clubs, again, baseball bat, golf club, tonfa, wooden bat, frying pan, hammers. Again, there's the sledgehammer, mallet, hammer, and then crowbar, lead pipe, and meat hook. So you might be thinking, oh, it looks like you get all the blueprints in there. That's just like one of the phases. The next thing that I have to do with the weapons is I have to actually add them all to an item list, which allows me to, the item list allows me to set up like a database for adding the weapons to spawners and adding the weapons to pickups, like so if an enemy dies you can pick it up, as well as creating world items, which I would still have to do. So if I go into ground zero for an example, for the one weapon I did get in last time, which was that hatchet that I was showing you before when I chopped down the trees. Blueprints, world items, axes. So the world item, if I open this up here, the world item is going to take an item from my item list, and it's take the row name there. It also takes the blueprint that I put in there, so that it knows what to load up in the world. So these world items are what I actually drop. Oh, I go faster, and then I can go slow. Alright, yeah, these world items are what I actually drop in here. I don't drop the, like, I wouldn't be putting these into the world as pickups. These are just information that stores all the data of what each weapon does damage wise. Like, this has all the animations that the first person player will be doing, all the traces of, like, on the blade where it will contact the player or the enemy to prove that it actually hit. Let me see if I could go to, yeah, defaults. So the inverse kinematics setup here, because like I'm using aim offsets, procedural aim offsets. So that means when I'm attaching the weapon to the player's hand and I'm using the inverse kinematics, if you walk too close to an enemy, especially with a gun, it will actually point the gun away, because you can't, like, so like the enemy will be pushing on your hands, pushing them towards your body. Melee weapons, that won't happen, because I want you to still be able to hit the enemy with a melee weapon at least. You could do them in a standard way with actual aim offset animations if you're an animator, which I might do at some point to make it look neater, but because I have so many weapons, I'm just going to procedurally get them in for now and then do that maybe later. But yeah, so this is each weapon where I could set how much damage it does to the head, to the arm, to the chest, to the hands, to the feet, whether the weapon applies bleed damage. This I'm looking right now at the hatchet. So the hatchet, the moderate hatchet is able to chop down trees, and it gives me the cue for what it sounds like to chop at a tree, and then I could add different hit surfaces decals. So this one's just for when it hits a player, it has flesh. But later on I might add, like I said, I was talking about different ones. So if you hit asphalt, it has like little black chips that come out, or if you hit the tree, there's little wood chips that come out. But I have to get all the, I have a system that has all the decals, but I didn't know if I was going to put that in this map here, because again, that will take quite a bit of time, because there's a bunch of different physics materials I have to deal with. This one has durability checked right now. I can uncheck that. But yeah, if you want durability on the weapon, and then what happens to the weapon, if the weapon gets destroyed or not, if there's sway while you're holding the weapon, attack stance, what hand the weapon is socketed to by default, if character could lean left and right, which by melee weapons is not a thing right now. Just with ranged weapons, it's a thing. So, and when you're with the weapon, sometimes people in like certain games you can move faster if you're carrying a knife than if you're carrying a big bazooka. So this is where you'd set the movements. I would set my movement speed of how to do that. Camera shake. So this is all in the weapon settings here. So that's kind of what this is for. And as you can see, I got most of them all in there. What I have to still do is get them all added to the item list. Was just getting the axes done. So for the most part, I got the axes done. Now I have to move on to the blades and the clubs, the hammers and the pipes to get them all in here. And then I can make world items for them. The world items are pretty simple. It's just you seen it when I did the hatchet. So at least that won't take me too long. The world items is just pretty much adding it from the master item list and picking what item it is. So the world item shouldn't take me long to make a bunch of world items. But because I didn't complete that, I wanted to show off something, so I put in the city. So I thought that was kind of neat. If you guys have any thoughts on what you guys thought about the city, it would be good to know. Yeah, there's gonna be gas stations in there, and trying to build some little house community areas. So there's some houses, so that I might still, like I said, I was planning on doing like a little lake here. I might have some houses around the lake, and then going out this way, more again residential communities and more residential communities here. And then again, maybe this area is just more forested, maybe some huts and stuff like that, or some camping stuff up here. But I haven't really planned it out, just kind of winging it as I go, and try to get feedback to see what people like and don't like. But yeah, so just let me know your thoughts. Try to think if there's something I could go over to show some people to this week for learning. I think I just kind of went over all the weapons and stuff like that. Yeah, but I have to update the item list, like I said, for the item spawner list, for the crafting list, for my cooking lists, right? Oh, I guess the melee weapons won't be a part of the cooking list, but you know what I mean. Once the item list is updated, then the rest of the list can see all the items that are usable. But yeah, I still have the bear and stuff like that in there. I did finish all the animals. I think I went over all the animals before. Yeah, the game's coming along, and like I said, next week I'll be working on the guns now, the rifles and stuff. And then after I work a bit on the rifles and get the basics kind of in for the weapons, then I'll probably go back and finish the melees, I think. Or I might get some thoughts and ideas from you guys what you want to see get into the game next. But please, again, keep sending your comments, keep letting me know. I know most people just let me know what their thoughts are in person, and that's cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hope you guys like everything, and you guys have a great one. Thanks.